They'll tell you nonsense like, oh my god, Elvis messaged me on Messenger. He's alive. Oh my god, Elvis, I knew it. I knew he wasn't dead. He says he needs $500 to release his new album. I gotta send him money. Where's my purse? And unfortunately, this kind of crap always happens, and people react to stuff without knowing the context. Case in point, I would wager that Games Workshop here is like the old battered ladies on Facebook responding to accounts, saying that they're actually Jesus Christ who's looking for $50 so he can start the rapture or something. John Della Roz didn't talk about the leaks of Space Marine 2 specifically, but regardless, context in this situation doesn't really seem to matter. And that's unfortunate and also very stupid of Games Workshop because they are harming people with these strikes. I hope that John can turn this around and get rid of the strike because obviously it's not good for your channel. It's the unfortunate reality of content creation because you have to be so careful with how you word things. Because if you have certain keywords in your title, it will actually lead to your videos getting limited ad review or no monetization at all. Which I get it, hey, you probably don't want your YouTube network having thousands of videos with like, I don't know, racial slurs or vulgar language in the title, I get it. But if you're going to be issuing strikes like this, at least do your diligence and make sure that why you're striking someone is justified or not. I mean, Nerdrotic also got copyright striked by Amazon, it seems, when it came to reacting to the Rings of Power Season 2 trailers. Suspiciously, both Nerdrotic and John's strikes, they came from Amazon itself or companies affiliated with them like Games Workshop, which is very weird. And if you ask me, when companies strike people for watching trailers or reacting to them, that's kind of beyond stupid. Because isn't the whole point of you having a trailer for something is so that people can watch and interact with it? Wouldn't you want people to react to your trailer for your upcoming product? It's literally free promotion, plus any publicity is good publicity. Even if Nerdrotic is crapping on Rings of Power, it still brings the series to more eyes, does it not? But circling back to Space Marine 2, this is kind of what I mean. Whenever I see companies striking people for reacting to their content that is made to promote products, it's so ass backwards. It's like those people who say on social media, I'm sad, and then when you ask them why, they say, don't worry about it. Like, you know what? I hope your day gets worse, actually. A company striking people reacting to their content meant to garner reactions? That is beyond stupid, dude. And Games Workshop doing this to people talking about their game is really dumb. I get it that they strike him if John, for example, just went through all the leaked documents and he was showing gameplay cutscenes or the ending of the campaign prior to it being released. But he didn't do any of that, so this is obviously wrong. As for the activist cancellation story, yeah, there's a developer who is working on Space Marine 2 who is from Russia, and they think that Ukraine belongs to Russia. Of course, players found out about it, and they are still trying to cancel him for it. I did a whole video about that a while back and what this dev said about Ukraine and Russia, and it's just like Rachel Zegler with her Free Palestine comments too. Case in point, if you're making something meant to be sold like a game, movie, etc., it's probably not a good idea to voice your opinions when it comes to anything that is politically charged. Especially when it comes to wars and which side you're on, because all you're going to do is divide people and just cause more problems for yourself. And the product that you're working on will likely suffer because of it too. The best thing to do would be to just work, make the thing the best it can be, just release it and then enjoy. Or I guess you could go the Rachel Zegler route or the Saber employee saying that Ukraine belongs to Russia. Those comments will and have pissed people off already. Although saying that Space Marine 2 should be cancelled or this dev is fired is also dumb as well. Freedom of speech allows people to say things, even if you disagree with them. I mean, there's plenty of morons on the internet saying stuff all the time, and it's their right to say those things. I say dumb things too sometimes. I even get stories wrong from time to time as well, here or on Twitter as well. The point being is that free speech exists so we as a society can interact with one another in a civil manner. But as soon as you say that this person must be silenced because I don't like what they have to say, yeah, no, then we have a problem, guys. That being said, I don't think the Russia-Ukraine dev controversy will derail Space Marine 2 that much, and I think YouTube and Games Workshop were wrong to strike John Della Roz or Nerdrotic the way that they did. It's not okay, it's a blatant misuse of power, and by using my free speech, I can say that it's wrong, and they should reverse these actions. As for the future of Warhammer, it's good to know negotiations are still ongoing, and I really am looking forward to that secret level series. But remember how I said earlier being overtly political can lead to your product suffering and causing backlash? Well, Let's look at this other game that sadly exists, and it's called Dustborn. It's a game that looks so bad you really have to see it to believe it. So this game is 100% made by activists. And the game stars a band of very diverse individuals who are fighting against the Republic, which is supposed to be conservatives, I guess. And the animations, everything in this game, it just looks like ass, dude. I don't know how else to put it, it just looks horrible. There was also this part of the game, which is the opening, I assume. I don't know, I will never play this slot, but anyways. The game opens with the band, which is known as Dustborn, singing a song for a Republic soldier to tell them who they are. And hopefully me including this clip won't get this video copyright strike. If it does, and I end up removing it from the video, I apologize in advance. But I will include it in the original version of this video. Anyway, please enjoy or suffer the opening song of Dustborn. Please watch.
We're the aliens. We're the refugees. We walk among you. We're right behind you. Your time is past. Your kind won't last. We're the Dustborn. This bug is airborne. We're the newborn. Our kind is newborn. We're the Dustborn. This bug is airborne. We're the newborn. Our kind is newborn. We're the Dustborn.
That was different. You make a living doing this?
We're a bit rusty, and it's been a long day.
Yeah, sure thing. By the way, that song could be considered offensive in the Republic. This isn't Pacifica. People here don't like politics with their entertainment. What's your band name?
We're the Dustborn.
Yeah, that was horrible, wasn't it? Dustborn having lines like, "We're the refugees, we're the newborn," and saying they'll replace you is insane, dude. This game is 100% communist propaganda psyop slop of the highest caliber. This is the kind of game your woke social studies teacher shows you while smiling the entire time because they think it sounds and looks amazing. And you're just sitting there waiting for the sweet release of Lady Death to come whisk you away from the cringe that you're witnessing and being subjected to. Apparently the game is already out and it's not doing very well, and that's an understatement. It also has a 67 on Metacritic, which frankly feels too high based on what I've seen, but this is still abysmally bad. And then the user score, I mean, yeah, it speaks for itself. Also, if you go on Steam, the game currently has a player count of 62 right now with an all-time peak of 76, which is, yeah, that's as bad as it sounds. This means on Steam anyways that the game is indeed flopping and doing horribly sales-wise. Actually, how much is this game making? Let me see. Holy crap, this slop is $40 Canadian at release. Okay, they really are doing horribly then. This means if we take the highest player count, of course, there could be more that own the game, I guess. But let's just say for this that the maximum amount of people that bought it was 76. That means that the game has made about $3,040 Canadian before taxes so far at release. Which, if you know anything about games, this is abysmally bad, and the word financial failure doesn't even quite begin to describe it. Because this game definitely costed more than it made, but good lord is that bad. One user on Twitter replied to my tweet about this game and revealed that Dustborn is apparently government funded by the European Union, which does not surprise me considering how Europe is very quickly becoming more unstable and overrun with immigration. Which in hindsight, now the theme song of Dustborn makes way more sense saying we're the refugees, cause yikes dude. It's also published by Quantic Dream, which is a studio that did Heavy Rain, Beyond, Detroit Become Human, and the upcoming Star Wars Eclipse game, which is also apparently in development hell right now as well. So maybe the sales of this game doesn't matter if it's government funded, and in actuality, it just kind of exists as actual communist propaganda in order to push a narrative that is being designed to make people more willing to be accepting of refugees and immigrants in their countries, I guess? But then at that point, wouldn't it make more sense to make the game free then, so more people could be exposed to your weird woke ideology? And isn't it anti-communist and actually pro-capitalist to put your PSYOP behind a $40 paywall? I mean, the whole thing kind of stinks, and I do find it hilarious that despite the fact the game panders to identity politics, even then reviewers couldn't review the game well either. It's like they know deep down, despite the message, that the game still is total ass cheeks, and I just love to see it. Speaking of communists, let's finish with Batman and PC Gamer, who had their article titled, "Watch a latex-clad billionaire punch out poor people in the debut gameplay trailer for Batman Arkham Shadow." Yep, you heard that right. PC Gamer's journalists are yet again putting on their social activist vests and their commie hats and saying that Batman is an awful person because he's white and punches poor people. Oh yeah, Arkham Shadow, by the way, is a VR game, so don't get too excited, because believe me, finding out that they made a new game in that universe and it was VR, that was beyond disappointing, to put it lightly. Here's what PC Gamer had to say about Arkham Shadow. The first ever gameplay trailer for the upcoming Batman Arkham Shadow appeared at Gamescom's opening night live showcase tonight, giving us our first proper look at the upcoming VR take on the adventures of the most therapy-averse billionaire in history. The new trailer focuses on exploration, dialogue, and of course plenty of fisticuffs as the world's greatest detective whomps the living hell out of dozens of flunkies and underlings on his way to ensuring that nothing ever really gets better in the bleak, crumbling metropolis of Gotham City. A corrupt system has failed you, the villainous Rat King, at least I assume that's the Rat King, says at one point. Are you not angry? Fight back. The man has a point, right? If your life is an endless swamp of futility and hopelessness, and the best the people in power can offer is a sock in the chops from a guy dressed up like a flying rat, well, I think I'd be a little angry about things too. So now we've reached the point where PC Gamer is saying that Batman is awful, capitalism bad, and we must use the white man's billions to save society from white people. Very cool, PC Gamer. This is actually why I love your guys' website so much. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan because it's like a bunch of lunatics got out of their cells and they somehow found the staff room at their local asylum. And then they all just kind of logged into their account and they just started saying stuff online. Because if you told me this article was written by a woke commie who lives with 5 roommates and is probably in a polyamorous relationship, I would not be surprised one bit. But sadly, we reached the point where does any of this surprise us anymore? Warhammer's owners copyright striking people, or Dustborn singing about refugees, and Batman being attacked for being a billionaire who fights crime? I mean, of course they hate Batman. They would rather have crime just go unpunished. Then again, these are the sorts of people who, when they get mugged or have their car stolen, they go, well, that person probably needed it more than I did. They'll be bleeding on the sidewalk with a shiv in their ribs dying, and they'll go, well, at least I'm not racist. Just continue to bend your knees further, PC Gamer, and please keep making more slop like this because you make my job so much easier when you do it. Maybe you guys can make fun of Superman next because he's white as hell, but be careful, he's also an immigrant because believe it or not, white-skinned people can be refugees too. I know, wild, right? Maybe sit down and think about that for a little, or don't, your brains might burst open. Anyway, that's enough for today. What do you think of the nonsense? Let me know. As always, thanks for watching, subscribe, and all of that. Thanks to my patrons and members, and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.
It's like the shape of her body, so
Yeah, it does.
kind of
Does it?
attractive.
It's tight.
I thought I saw one with like a skirt over, and I'm like, I feel like that's more modest than,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. There's, by the way, there's
just
some
walk anywhere in her
chicks in
bikini.
Yard. There's
Protected
below
from the
Supra.
sun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
zero
no
sun
sun
damage.
damage.
Seen that before. Me neither. It's the
very
first time
true.
I'm hearing of this.
Wait, we'll go back to the TTS that came through. Relationship status.
I'm single right
Single, okay.
now. Longest relationship, I'd say about 2.5 to 3 years
Okay.
over the course of 5 years.
Oh, so it's on and on? On and on.
Yeah.
You mean a relationship? On and off, excuse me. I'm in an on and on relationship, aka a relationship.
On and on.
Grid One Motorsports donated $69.
On and on.
Evening Brixton, been busy.
Cheers.
Can't always make the show, but you and Andrew have been doing excellent
thank you,
work.
man. Thank you, bro.
Very
Appreciate
cool
it.
you have an all brunette episode, but now the blondes will protest you.
Yeah, there's a lack of diversity on this. You know, the hair color is not very diverse, but I think we've got.
She's a natural
we,
blonde.
We need to talk about. Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm blonde, but I
You
dye
are
it.
culturally appropriating. I don't know if it's is Robert Tanner, thank you for the gift of 20. You are appropriating. I'm offended because I'm dark hair naturally.
Well, I'm very sorry.
Who of the natural, hold on, we can't allow this. Who here who has natural dark hair thinks that this is an abomination? Who here is offended? She is appropriating
Your culture.
I'm not sure if it's culture or ethnicity.
I feel like
You are
I'm
LARPing as a brunette.
I am.
I feel like
How
I'm
dare
proud of
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you should first find out who here has colored hair currently, and then you can say that.
I mean, y'all probably seem like you're natural. I mean, you might have highlights or a little coloring.
I think yours is colored.
Mine's color. I'm
Yeah, but
naturally,
it's like-
I'm naturally your color.
Yeah, you
It's
have like
still
a shadow.
dark.
Yeah.
It's still dark, you know.
Yeah.
Like are you sure you're not, hold on.
I'm really blonde.
It looks more
your
ginger.
eyebrows.
Looks a
That,
little
I
red.
just did my roots and it came out the wrong
Strawberry
color, but
blonde?
if you look like
Okay.
down here.
Ryan Eric donated $69. No. She insisted going to pool party at stranger's house without me. After dumping, hacked her Google and found messages of her cheating with another guy.
Okay.
She hated the show and yelled TV at Andrew lol.
Wait, so she was living with you. So was she technically, I mean, she technically might have had renter's rights or whatever. But you kicked her out? She just moved out willingly? We'll get into that. I'll ask the panel. I won't get around the table from everybody, but so the bikini and then divorce guy, I will come back to your TTS. The bikini dump thing. What were we talking about? I forgot.
Me being blonde.
Hair?
She's natural blonde.
Oh, the diversity of the panel. Let's go around the table. What are your pronouns? And then also, what's your ethnicity? I think we got a pretty diverse panel here. Starting with you, go ahead.
My pronouns are she, her, and I'm half Korean, half white.
Sons of Liberty donated $69. If forced to choose, would you rather have democracy
Oh, I saw
or
this on
access
Twitter.
to abortions?
I saw that
Trump
interview.
2024.
Okay, hold on. I'll add it to the list. I just want to get through relationship status really quick. Just ethnicity.
Half Korean, half white.
Asian.
Russian, Mexican.
Swedish and Irish.
White. Vietnamese and white.
I thought you were part Italian.
I'm part of everything, but if I
Oh.
started naming it, it
Okay.
would just.
What about you?
Cuban Argentinian.
Okay. Do you speak Spanish?
See.
I'm 100% Hmong.
What are you? I just took an ancestry test, so I already forgot most of it, but mostly Italian, German, Irish, French.
All right. Oh,
Killer of Cereal donated $69.
Bruh.
What ethnicity have you dated that you would
we'll
not
get
date
to it. We'll
again
get
and
to
why?
it. I might have to bump. How long we been going? Is it 30? Okay, I'm gonna bump. Okay, I'll leave it at 69 for a bit long, for 3 more minutes. So you're saying longest relationship, 2.5 years. You're currently single. When was your last relationship?
I ended it about a month and a half ago.
Is that the 2.5 year one?
No.
How long was the last one?
Only 4.5 months.
Okay, but you said the 2.5 year one, it was on again, off again?
Yes.
How many times was it on and off?
So I had children with this person. So I have 2 sons, but
Okay.
so we kind of like just tried to make things work. Didn't work. We got engaged. It didn't work. So I would say in total we dated about 2.5 years, but it was just not working.
How many times was it on again, off again?
I would say 3. 3 times we tried.
Who broke up?
Killer of Cereal donated $69. W for 3 minutes. Also, while I have it, most embarrassing
that.
date or carnal knowledge stories, please.
Thank you, Killa. Appreciate it. We'll get to all of those. Who would end it?
It would just kind of dissolve, to be honest. Like there was no understanding that we were done so much as like, I feel like he would either like leave or I would just leave.
And then who would like try to reach back out to get back together?
I reached back out. Well, one time that I specifically remember, I reached back out. That was after we had our first son to try to make it work. But it was always mutual. So
Okay.
it was like, yeah, it was pretty mutual. Like there was an understanding that we wanted to make it work, but it just continuously did not work.
Sure. Okay. By the way, guys, TTS is now boosted to 200, read 100. And yeah. You said you have 2 kids?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Maddie, what about you?
I'm currently in a relationship. My current one is the longest. It's been almost 2 years.
All right.
The actual
I'm
oldies.
also currently in a relationship. It's my longest, and it's 5 years.
All right, cool. Okay, so let's get back into some of the notes here, and I'll read a couple of the chats. So, TTS, just a reminder, guys, TTS was 69, but we've boosted it to 200. The read is 100. You can hide that. Oh, okay.
Grid
We'll let that
1
one come through.
Motorsports donated
That's last.
$69. This panel is putting me to sleep. Just to start some it, I have to ask, how important is a man's political ideals to the ladies? I hear it is difficult to find a real man on the left.
We'll get to it. There's a backlog now, so we'll get to it. Thank you, Grid 1. Reminder, guys, that's the cutoff. TTS is now 200 and up, excuse me. All right, so let me read this one. Bravo, Django. Actually, Maddie, can you read it?
Please do a video reaction someday. It's called Scariest Hell Testimony Ever, and it has a green background. There's even studies on NDEs because there's so many. Also touching the afterlife is a YouTube channel full of hell testimonies. I
Holy
love
shit,
your
this
videos,
thing
bro.
sucks. Dude, this thing is fucking dog. Okay.
Track move.
I don't know why it's not working. All right, fuck that thing. I don't know why it's not working. Sorry, guys, I got this thing I forgot the specific name of the type of camera. It's like PEZ. Anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? PEZ camera? What are they called? But obviously I have not figured out how to work it, so PTZ camera. But it's obviously, hold on. What the and it's moving on its own.
It tracks movement.
What the, bruh. Hold on, and the exposure, it doesn't have, what the fuck, dude? Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Piece of shit.
Up your nose. Just my nose. It was
I'm gonna swap back to the other one. Yo, Bravo Django, thank you for the super chat, man. I'll look into that. Scariest Telltale has a green background. Okay, I'll take a look at it, man. Thank you. Appreciate the super chat. All right, guys. So we have a backlog of the chat, so we'll just get through all of those in the order they came through. So Divorce Survivor says, question for the ladies on the panel. When a woman stands, here, I'll just pull it up. You can hide that. Hide that, please. At the altar on her wedding day and says, till death do us part, what does that actually mean? Please enlighten your future husbands. Can you scoot into the table a little bit? What does that mean? Anybody? Any takers on this?
I'm a little confused as to why that is a question. It's exactly what it means, till death do you part. When you get into marriage, you're marrying to be with this person forever. You're making a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, beliefs and religion come into play. When I married my husband, it was before God. There's only certain reasons that if our marriage was not going to last, that it was going to be those reasons. But other than that, it's through thick and thin, or if one of us passes first.
I think the point perhaps he's trying to make is, I think it's is it a hypothetical? Wait, no. What's a question that is not intended to be answered? Rhetorical. Thank you, Ava. Appreciate it. I believe it's a rhetorical question, and he's trying to point out that a lot of people, they get married, they'll say, till death do us part. 1 year, 2 year, 3 years later, no fault divorce. Later. And I think he's directing it at the women because divorce is initiated typically, I think
Primarily
the stats,
from women,
80%
yeah.
of divorces.
Well, it's definitely a lack of commitment.
Yeah.
It's not working out. We don't get along, and I'm gonna go find someone better who gets along better with me, or.
Yeah. Sure. And then while I go get the camera set up, I want you guys to discuss this one. She insisted going to pool party at stranger's house without me. After dumping, he dumped her. So pool party, he didn't want her to go. She insisted on going, wore a bikini, went to the pool party. Boyfriend didn't want it. They were living together. Do you think, one, is it wrong that he didn't want her to go, didn't want her to dress this way? And then two, break up, justified, unjustified, discuss.
So I think it depends. Like, did he know who's going to be at this party? Like, if it was just going to be girlfriends, okay, I don't think he'd have an issue with that. But if he knew there was going to be girls, guys, there's going to be alcohol involved, there's going to be other things involved, then maybe that's when he said, hey, no, this is where I draw the boundary.
Well, but it comes down to trust.
Well, he also said he found out that she cheated on him, so she sounds like a whore.
I wonder what the tip of the iceberg was. Was it her not listening to you? Her actually going to the party, wearing the bikini? What was it?
I think it was the
That's a
cheating.
good point.
When he found out she was
probably
cheating.
the cheating.
Like afterwards. But from his first message that he sent in, it was like she wore a bikini.
Right. The issue
That
isn't
in
the
itself shouldn't have
bikini.
been an
It's
issue.
it's whatever was going on underlying it. That's like
Did he say how
symptomatic.
he found out?
He went
just
through
went
her
through
stuff, yeah, her Google searches and stuff or whatever.
And I mean, honestly,
Google
she doesn't need
searches.
his permission to go, especially if there is trust there in a relationship. She doesn't have to get his permission. So.
Yeah.
But also,
Sorry, I think it was more that she was like insisting that he didn't get with her.
Yeah,
that's what I think is
okay.
messed up. I think.
Oh wait, she told
Maybe
him
I
not
messed
to
up.
go with
Yeah,
him.
she was like, "Oh no, I don't want you to come."
That's shady.
I think if he was going to go with her and he was comfortable with her wearing the bikini and everything, that would have been all fine. But it seems like there was more behind why he was already suspicious of her going without him wearing the bikini, and then his worries came true when he found out that she was actually cheating on him.
She had to have given him reasons to feel shaky about the trust in the relationship before the whole party thing happened.
Quite honestly, that was just really stupid on her part to say, I don't want you to go, and then keep pushing it, and go. It's like, how is that going to turn out good in any way?
I feel like if you're letting somebody live in your home for 2.5 years and you don't trust them to wear a bikini, then that's kind of on you. Why are you allowing that woman to like basically mooch off you and all your money and like your home? Like, as fucked up as it is that she did that, he also chose that woman.
Well, when she moved into D-State, when she moved in, it was they were in a relationship, or was it?
know.
Yeah, see,
There's
I
so
don't
much
know.
we don't know.
Yeah.
But
Was there behavior that she was, showing before you found out she was cheating?
Definitely.
Or was that like the first time?
Because if there was trust there, but yet he just didn't want her to go to the party, well, now he looks controlling.
Yeah.
Because she should be able to go to a party with her friends, no big deal.
Maybe in a one piece though.
Well, I feel like if she's
he's
gonna
not
wear
going.
a
It's a full
one
party,
piece, if she's gonna
like-
cheat on him, wearing a one piece isn't gonna like.
It's not going to change.
Yeah, that
No,
doesn't change anything.
The choice of the
It could
bikini
still
is on the
work.
woman.
Imagine.
On what kind of suit she wears. That's her choice.
He
You know.
probably means like, are you dressing to
Impress other guys.
impress other guys? Because that makes me feel uncomfortable. That's like a more mature way, I feel like, of saying, oh, you're wearing a bikini. Da, da, da. It's not about that.
But
But,
if
that's
he-
a valid concern. Like, are you dressing for the attention of other men when you're living in my home? I feel like that's valid.
But he
How
can't
does
hold
he
the house
answer
over
that?
her.
Today I'm going to wear an outfit that is going to impress other men. So sorry. I mean, how do you?
Of course, she's not gonna.
A woman
admit to
who dresses
that.
nice doesn't necessarily mean she's doing it for other
True.
men.
True.
Can't really
But
get that
she
answer.
Kind of seems like she might have been though.
Yeah.
Low-key.
I mean, a hot girl's gonna look hot with or without a bikini.
That's true. That's true.
Then she should wear a
She could wear a
burkini.
burkini and she'd be on sale.
Exactly.
All right, cool. I'm sure you guys had a riveting conversation while I was gone. All right, we have Sons of Liberty. If forced to choose, would you rather have democracy or access to abortions, starting with Pearl? Go ahead.
I am pro-choice, but if I had to choose between those two things, I mean, is the other option like what, an oligarchy or like a queen or something?
Totalitarian, authoritarian.
Yeah.
But it could be left authoritarian, so basically everything you want, you get.
No, I feel like democracy is good. I feel like the push and pull between the left and the right is good. Extremist left and extremist right, I think, are not. I think they're both unhealthy and toxic.
So wait, question. Let's say that all the political beliefs you hold, whether some are center, left, right, whatever, you could have all those things, but it wouldn't be a democracy. Although technically, I guess we're not a democracy, we're a, what is it, the republic? Representative, wait, what is it? Something republic. Chat, help me out. What is it, chat? Help me, bro. What is it? Constitutional republic.
That's what we
Democrat?
are.
Representative republic? Damn, y'all, there's like 3 different answers in the chat. Banana republic, that's Latin America.
like a
Just kidding.
democracy.
So, would you take it?
I wouldn't, because I mean, as much as I think that I am like right or whatever, like I'm allowed to have my own opinion, but I don't. My opinions change. Like I evolve as a human. I learn more things from both sides or whatever, and I'm like, oh, so I think having different voices allows us to see the truth, which is typically in the middle. So no, I wouldn't be like, I don't think that my opinion is better than all of the other opinions that exist. So definitely, I'm pro-choice, and I would still pick democracy.
Okay. Cool. Your answer to the question?
I'm pro-life and I lean right. So what would I rather have? I guess democracy, I suppose.
Democracy, please.
Democracy, I'm pro-life.
Democracy, I'm pro-life. Democracy, I'm pro-life.
Democracy, but isn't that just like a given for the abortion part? Like, if we live in a democracy, we'd probably have access to abortion.
That's what I was gonna say.
So
I didn't really
Well, I think
understand the
it's-
question.
I think it's
be
trying to say
honest.
you
Like, I
can-
don't know, but
you
like, I
can,
still agree with what I said.
With certainty, you can secure the access to abortions, but the government structure would be like a authoritarian, totalitarian.
democracy.
Democracy.
Okay. Word. All right, we have Killa of Cereal.
What would you
Oh,
choose?
crap.
What would I choose? Democracy. What ethnicity have you dated that you're not? This one's a little spicy.
It's getting dangerous.
A little spicy. Let me think if that's. If anybody wants to answer it, you can. Otherwise,
There's no kind way or like safe way to answer this, to be honest, because then people are gonna want to know why, and then those people are being outed. Yeah.
would you kill a serial? I'm gonna take an audible here and change your question. Would you date an alien?
You're legit
That could
asking
be
that
that could be
question.
an ethnicity. Would you date an alien, like a hot alien?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Oh yeah.
No shame. What about you?
No.
No.
Are they an illegal alien?
Ooh.
Normal alien.
Technically.
Extra
From space.
Extraterrestrial
Oh, okay.
alien, not illegal
ET
immigrant.
phone home alien.
I would have to get to know them.
That's
What are
fair.
your
That's
hobbies?
valid. What about you?
No.
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 What if- even a hot alien.
No.
No. How are you supposed to like mate with them?
And if they could mate, what
Say they
would that
could do
child come out
everything
to look
that
like?
But you already got
It's
two
like,
kids, right?
comes out
So,
like a mangled.
What if it's just
Like,
like,
like 6 legs.
What if it's just a stepdad alien?
I mean, I want to adopt, but I want more children of
You
my
want
own.
more
There's
kids?
no way. There's no way. I'm not dating an alien.
Maybe the aliens we could potentially reproduce with them.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you
they're
might end up dating one
humanoid.
and not know it. They're one.
True.
Wait,
feel like
do
I
you
am
think
dating.
aliens are real?
Probably.
Do any of you?
Yeah,
I think,
definitely.
I think it's. I don't think we've had contact, but I think they're out there somewhere.
Really?
I agree.
Yeah. There's like billions and billions of star systems and galaxies and planets.
You don't
Ryan,
think we've
we
had
agree on something. That's
contact?
Wow, that's crazy.
That's insane.
What's that?
You said you don't think that we've had contact though?
I don't think we've had contact, but I think they're out there. I don't know if we'll ever.
Area
There's
51.
so much space that we haven't seen, and ocean that we haven't seen.
Wait,
There's
is
so
it the
much we don't
Fermi
know.
paradox? Is that what it's called?
Some people think that they're like in the ocean.
Nick, can you Google Fermi paradox?
You
Ah,
think
we don't need
it's
to Google
aliens
that.
or
The
just,
fuck,
like,
this is a dating
different
podcast.
species?
Never mind. Extraterrestrial life. How many galaxies? Chat.
Killer of Serial donated
Mary.
$200. America. Fuck yeah. Democracy is the motherfucking way, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you date an alien if it had a Phase 5 Planet Buster plasma rifle next to its bed when it'd been due home from Gorlock 9?
Gorlock 9. I like that. Well done. Oh, Killer of Serial. I need to get you set up with like a custom DTS thing, like Grid and our boy Paladins. Thank you, man. I'll just ask. So I'm gonna also do an audible, and I'll just bring it back to Earth on that one, and we'll do the firearm question. But going around the table, Madsen, date an alien?
No.
Okay, hold
Actually, I think I maybe would.
Let's say-
if it could do everything a human could do and it looked like a human, I probably wouldn't notice. You've had feelings and
on. An avatar.
no.
No? Like, does that change? If it was an avatar, would y'all fuck an avatar?
If he's like not blue, maybe.
He's blue.
There's people
He's
that are
blue.
actually like
And you use like your hair or
romantically
whatever to fuck.
interested in
Like
avatars.
not penises and vagina.
That can be
Do they not? I don't think
a
they
thing,
have
huh?
genitals. The avatars.
They mate with their like they collect their
yeah,
little
they
hairs on their tails.
Collect the hair, or no, it's the tail. Sorry, not the hair. The tails.
No. The tail does have like little fibers that they can join.
Genital fibers.
You know so much.
That's crazy. You've researched this.
Yeah.
Too much.
No, I
That's what
watched
she
the
does in her free
movie.
time.
Wait, so Madison, you're dating Frankie. If you found out Frankie was an alien, would you dump him?
No. That's why I said yes to an alien.
If your boyfriend, you found out your boyfriend was an alien, would you dump him?
No.
Would you date an alien?
If he was an alien,
If you were single,
theoretically, yes.
theoretically, in theory. What about in practice?
Sure.
Okay. What if it's like a lizard person?
No.
Okay. Mark Zuckerberg?
Shapeshifter.
Okay.
Yeah, but Lizard's got one.
Robert Tanner, government clarification for the panel. Pure democracy existed in Athens, Greece. The United States is a federal constitution republic. The idea that we exist as democracy fails to understand our electoral college system. Also, great talks tonight. Yo, Tanner, thank you very much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for the clarification there. Appreciate it. So, we were talking about aliens. Was there something else on the aliens thing? Would I what?
Would you?
Date an alien?
I think you would actually.
Or an avatar?
I think
I'd date an
men
alien.
would be more likely to do
I'd,
that.
Yeah.
I'd have carnal
Honestly.
knowledge.
Because there'd be a lot more
I would have
hot
carnal knowledge of an
alien
alien.
women than men.
So weird.
I can see that. I can see men doing that. for
Once,
sure.
honestly, I think women are gonna, if aliens come and they start dating us and shit, who do you think is gonna fare worse, men or women? I feel like men are gonna be more adaptable to like fucking alien
Anything.
bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're desperate.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Men aren't as picky.
They're like, you know what? I tried with humans. Didn't work.
Yeah.
Let's try aliens.
Although I feel like the alien women might be like kind of dom, like dommy mommies, because they're like, we're superior to you and shit. So like they're going to be like a little dominant.
Or maybe
Not
they
at the
can just-
beginning,
maybe
though, when
they
they're
can
trying
be,
to
like,
learn our
molded in
ways.
programs
But
to,
like with
what
all
that guy likes.
with all the plastics and shit in the water, like I feel like a bunch of men are going to be like in 100 years, all the men are going to be like soy,
Yeah.
super soy.
But we're seeing it happen with AI.
So I'm pretty sure like all the guys are going to welcome like the dommy mommy alien pussy.
They would love it.
I think it's coming.
There's already a lot of movies.
Some men would just take it.
Take.
I mean, like
They're gonna essay. They're gonna essay the aliens.
The aliens aren't gonna come and they're gonna take
they'll be
it.
like, well,
Yeah.
you know, like, well, they'll accept it. Like, yeah, I'll date an alien. Like, you know, a little bit easier than women would.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. They should do an
they
alien
should.
dating app. I don't know what they're gonna call that shit though. But
Alien dating app.
Alien.
ADA. Alien dating AD.
I don't know. Anyways, let's see the other chats here. Oh, really quick. Let's see. We had Kilo Cereal. Most embarrassing date or oops, did not pull up. Most embarrassing date or carnal knowledge story. Going around the table, starting with Pearl.
Most embarrassing.
I don't have anything exciting for this answer, to be honest. I've had mostly regular dates.
Okay. Sure. What you got?
I think I told this story on one of the podcasts. It's really not too extensive or that interesting, but I dated a guy that I knew from like middle school, and he took me out on a date, and his car like broke down, and he was like super stoned, and he was like really smelly, like he had BO. I don't know if I told this story or not, but it was horrible, and I was just really trying to like rush the date and like get home, and it was bad.
Okay.
I was on a date with a guy and he pooped in his pants.
Oh, they're gonna tell you.
He's,
W.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's everything! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
He,
What a legend.
He
Did he-
said that he went to a sushi restaurant that was like on the cheaper side, and he told me that it ended up being food poisoning, and he just couldn't hold it, so he had to excuse himself and go home and had to tell me that he pooped his pants.
Where were you guys?
We were at a restaurant
Wait,
for
he
dinner.
pooped- he pooped his pants like on the way.
No, we were sitting there, and it all of a sudden hit him, and he just pooped his pants.
Nice. Did
you Like hear
in
him?
his
His
pants?
pants?
No, I had no idea. He had to tell me that's
smell
why he
it?
had to leave.
You didn't smell it?
I would have just not told the chick. I mean, if she didn't know, just not tell her.
I don't know.
Did
I
you-
guess
was there a second date? Or?
Through the date?
No, I would have left.
Sit through the date.
I would have left, but like he could have just. Oh, my stomach hurts. You can't like tell a girl you
Well, he did.
shat your pants. Was there a second date?
No.
Because of the poop.
He could have just gone to the restroom and threw his underwear away.
That's true. No, he actually also had a really bad personality, so that's why. Sorry.
He's like,
I was gonna forgive
shat.
the pooping his pants, but the
I've shat.
personality wasn't good.
That yeah. Okay. All right. What about you?
I was kind of catfished. I met a guy on a dating app, and what he was in person was not what his picture looked like in the profile.
Was he an alien?
No. Well, you know, he could have been, but I didn't give him the time of day.
So how did his picture look, and how did he look?
So, I mean, nationality-wise, it was, but in person, his shirt was like stained. He was heavy. He didn't look like he had bathed. He had like crumbs on his shirt. Just disgusting. And we drove separately to the mall, and then he wanted me to pull out cash, like we were going to pay separate, even though he asked me out. And I found every excuse to just quit it. I didn't even have it. I'm like, I got to go.
Okay.
So.
Liz?
I don't have one. All my experiences have been
Okay.
good.
What about you?
To be honest, I can't. I've been thinking. I can't
Maddie?
remember.
Ava? I've already given a few to this question. Nothing new's coming to mind. I'll just repeat that. I was hooking up with this chick, and but I stopped the hookup because she had a tattoo. And this tattoo, the location of the tattoo and the tattoo itself were objectionable. Tattoo was located above her pussy, and it said YOLO. There's few things that will deter a man from having sexual intercourse with a woman. A YOLO tattoo above the pussy is one of them. So did not have sex with her. Could have, didn't. You know what I mean? Why the face? Do you have a
No.
YOLO tattoo above the pussy? Is that what's going on?
No, but I wouldn't die if I did.
But you're shaking your head in disapproval.
No, actually, I'm with you.
Oh,
I'm
you
feeling
agree.
the emotion with you. Like, ew, that's gross.
Yeah.
But I guess it could be worse.
Is there any tattoo a guy could have that you see and then you're like, second thoughts? Maybe a swastika.
Maybe
or
like something like
That would
maybe
definitely-
like
that would be
something
one.
above
Yeah.
his butt, so like aim here or something.
Yeah. Or like the picture of like a penis
think of
somewhere
that?
on their body.
Like,
Like a tattoo of a penis, like near their butt or something. That I couldn't
Okay.
do that.
yeah, aim here.
All right, yeah. Anything? Anything?
Or the teardrop.
Teardrop?
Oh my gosh.
The cholo.
For me, it would probably be anything that's like demonic. So like if they had like 666 on them or something.
Oh,
What about snake tattoo?
that's a no-no.
It depends on what it looks like.
That's kind of
It depends on what
a
the
little
snake
demonic.
looks like. It just depends on what it
Do you have a
looks
snake
like.
tattoo?
No.
Okay.
I have tattoos, just nothing demonic.
Oh, let's do a tattoo check. Who's got tats that they want to show? What we got? Pearl?
Definitely not a snake eating an apple.
What you got? You got the sternum?
No, I have a yin yang.
Oh, that's so
I have
cute and dainty.
mushrooms. I have a me. I have a heart with a me in it.
Wait, you have a heart with a me?
I have a heart and it says me inside of it.
So the mushroom one and the heart with the me.
And a yin yang, and I have some Latin text.
Latin?
Latin, yeah, from Augustine's Confessions.
What's
He's a
that?
theologian.
Word?
Yeah,
beautiful.
those are my tats.
Okay. The mushroom one's a little red flaggy, eh?
Is it?
What does it mean?
Mushrooms are incredible. Have you guys seen Fantastic Fungi? They're like an incredible like web of like neurons, and they like basically the reason we can exist is because of mushrooms. You should watch Fantastic Fungi. Really
Wait, hold on.
informative, really beautiful.
You're saying we exist because of mushrooms?
Well, our world continues. It's a really integral part of our ecosystem because fungi are what like eat what's decaying. So if we didn't have fungi, our world would just be full of decaying shit.
Is that but isn't that like a psilocybin mushroom?
Is this a psilocybin mushroom?
Yeah, isn't that?
No.
Like, what's it, fucking portobello? What you got?
It's just it's cute.
But
It's
it's
a
like a psychedelic mushroom.
No.
Oh, you just
Oh,
have
that's what I thought
you
it
have
meant.
like just an edible non-psychedelic mushroom on you?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with psychedelics?
I mean, I like psychedelic mushrooms as well.
Okay, there you go.
But
Okay.
it's not. That's not just what it represents. It's everything. I love all mushrooms, including the psychedelic ones.
Word.
Word.
When's the last time you did?
Psychedelic mushrooms?
Yeah.
I don't know. A couple months ago.
She's like last night.
Just like this morning.
She's like, I'm on it right now.
I wish I was right now.
You're all aliens.
What you got, Jordan? What you got for us?
I've got
Stats?
some Russian lettering,
What's it
Bible
say?
scripture, walk by
Okay.
faith, not by sight.
Okay.
I've got some roses.
Cool.
I've got a cute little dainty dove behind my ear.
Word.
And I've got, oh
Sternum?
yeah, I've got my back.
Can you turn?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Goes down my spine.
And then that's it.
A couple little dainty
Hand-
finger
hand
stuff.
ones?
That little
Okay.
angel on my index.
Sternum?
Nope.
No sternum? Okay.
Nope.
All right. What about you, Tats?
No yellow.
I have no tattoos and I'm never gonna have any.
What about you? What you got?
The story has changed.
I have a lot.
Okay.
I don't know where to begin. I have a little sis. My sister has one that says Big Sis. I got this July 6th. That is, I can only imagine it's the actual lyrics to the song. I have the roses. I have for a memorial to all the animals that I've lost. And this is scripture stating that for all the people that I've lost in my life, that one day when we go be with Jesus, we won't have any more suffering.
Okay.
My calf, my full left calf is a Day of the Dead girl. My right ankle, I have hearts around it, and my back, I have a Gothic heart. And then the notorious tramp stamp. So
You have a tramp stamp.
I do. But I got it when I was 30 years old and married.
It doesn't
Oh.
say YOLO though, right?
No, it does not.
I feel maybe the panel in the chat, those of you watching, is it the case that the sternum tattoo, this one, I think this is the new tramp stamp. It's the tramp stamp of, anybody here have
I feel attacked.
You got it.
Highly attacked.
I do think it is the tramp stamp of the
interesting.
mid 2010s until now. Tattoos.
Yeah, I have my whole spine. It's,
Can we see?
Well, you can't really see because my shirt's covering it
Oh,
all.
okay, that's fine.
It's just like a half a Bible verse, and then I have my hip. It's a rose, and then just like a dainty one behind my ear, and then one on my ankle.
Okay. What about you?
I think I have like 6, 7, or 8. I don't like any of them, but this says Euphoria.
Okay.
I have the word vanity, which I highly regret. I have flowers on my back. I have this, which I matched with Father of My Children. I have a sternum. It's a cross. It's like kind of looks like a star, but it's a cross. I
Got
can't
it.
remember if I have any more.
Okay. The sternum tattoo's a cross.
It is.
Okay.
And to be fair and to defend myself, I feel like because I don't have anything up here, it's not like as provocative. But I still regret it. I just don't want tattoos. I just want them all gone.
I mean, to be fair, to be charitable, the sternum tattoo I take the most issue with is the like chandelier one that like it's like the basic chandelier.
I do agree.
You
that it's
have your
provocative.
sternum tattoo's a little different. Still a sternum tattoo, but it's not like the basic. Here's a fucking chandelier rose. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know. That's like the red flag for me. No offense. Maddie, you got tattoos. Ava, tattoos. Any tattoos?
No.
All right. Let's get through the rest of the chats, and then we'll get into the pre-show notes, guys. We got some good questions. We got some good questions coming up here. Let's see. Grid 1 Motorsports, this panel is putting me to sleep. How important is a man's political ideals to the ladies? Starting with Jordan, how important are the political ideas to you for your man?
Pretty important.
Do you
At
guys
least
agree
that
on
you're.
everything?
Pardon?
Your husband.
What about him?
You guys agree on everything?
Pretty much, yeah. We do. But he's not very, like, he's not really as much into politics as I am. A lot of the politics he knows is because I've talked to him about it or told him about it.
Okay.
It would only be important if he leans the same way. If he doesn't lean the same way I do, if he doesn't care about politics at all, then I don't think it would become an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So religious is more important than political to me. And my husband and I both are the same religion. And because of that, our political views are the same. So it is extremely important.
Yeah, I'm going to have to second with her on that one.
Yeah, I echo the last two.
It used to not be important to me, but now it is, I think, because the person I'm with, I actually want to start a family with, so it's really important now.
Okay. Oh.
Killer of Serial donated $200.
Would you date an alien?
America.
I'll just change it to, would you date an alien? Would you date a guy who owned a firearm? Like, okay, first, hold on, let me change it. You go to his house, first time at his house, and he has an AR-15 by his bedside. Red flag, green flag.
Green.
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 Green. I'm fine with that.
Green.
Okay.
Green. I like this panel.
All right. New date. You both hit it off. Chemistry, the works. She invites you back to their place. You walk through the door and see a bookcase. What book do you see that makes you turn and leave immediately? Starting with you. Go ahead.
I don't know. What book?
Communist Manifesto.
Yeah, maybe. Something along those lines.
Okay.
Is he saying that their pronouns are he, she?
What?
That was a joke. Sorry. If he had Joe Biden's book, that's when I would leave.
Okay, yeah. I agree. What she said.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have to be if they were going in a certain direction that I don't go in, so.
There's like this book. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's basically like how to manipulate. And I had a friend whose ex had that book, and it was like the worst relationship she was like ever in. So I was like, oh.
I'm going to go ahead and say I don't have a book that would be a red flag, but if they didn't have a Bible, I would leave for sure.
I feel like any girly book, like any book that every girl's read.
Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe like a book on how to get away with murder.
Yeah, that's a pretty big red flag.
Yeah.
If she had like any, what's
It's a
that?
very good Netflix series, though.
If she had White Fragility by, what's her fucking D'Angelo, whatever the fuck, any like DIE bullshit or SJW nonsense.
But if they were smart, like, why would they have a hard copy of any of these insane books? Like, wouldn't they just have the
That's a good question.
copy on the phone?
Good question. Let's see. So, okay, getting into some of the pre-show notes for the show, before we get to Pearl. Actually, I'll get Jordan even on before, so I'll come back to some of your notes. Let's see. We have, hold on guys, getting to my notes. What's something juicy to jump into? Sarah, going back to you, you said that you were dating a guy, you have 2 kids with him, 2 sons, right? Is he in the picture? Like, do you guys
Yeah.
co-parent?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're actually with him right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is it split custody, 50-50?
It's split custody.
And did you guys handle this informally, or was it through the court?
It was through the court.
Who brought it to court, him or you?
I did, twice.
Why?
Reasons I'm not necessarily allowed to state publicly until the boys are older.
Okay. Do you receive child support from him?
Yes, but I'm not necessarily paid it, if that makes sense.
There's a court order for child support, but
Right.
he doesn't pay it, or?
Right. I
Okay.
definitely like I'm actually like trying to create like amicability between us because I know what it does for like children, or what it does. Like I have friends, even I grew up like not even in a difficult home, but like I have so many split home like friends. So I'm trying to have like meetings with dad or dad's parents to try to become amicable because we were functioning pretty healthily up until I went to court. So like that was the issue, was like they didn't want any like parameters in place.
Okay.
Other than that, it has always been like amicable, just under the circumstances of me making it a legal thing. They didn't like that, but there were points where I almost felt, I definitely felt the need to.
Wait, who is they? Because you said they.
So I personally feel that what I'm going through in custody is not necessarily with dad. It's with family of dad, if that makes sense. Like, I don't feel like I don't want to call it like a fight. I feel like the sharing of custody is more so with other people, not specifically dad.
So he has like parents, grandparents, maybe helping out, that sort of thing?
Yeah, he lives with his entire family.
Okay.
Which is good. Our children like have access to so much love and resources.
I see. Okay. And was he paying, is the custody arrangement, so you said, is it 50-50?
Yes.
Okay. Physical custody and legal custody?
Yes. He has schooling. I don't think I'm allowed to share it, honestly. He has some rights. I have other rights. And it was split because it was felt that there was a lot of animosity. So there needed to be, which I think is healthy and I appreciate.
Wait, did you want more custody than you currently have? Like, did you want full custody?
Selfishly, I would love it, but I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And I know that God sees everything that happens. So like whatever the path that we've been brought down, like I definitely see how God has like orchestrated all of it. And I just like have faith that if this is what it is right now, it's only because there is a healthy component to it. Like prayerfully, I am always like consulting with God and I'm saying like, if this is not what's best for my children, for our children, like I would love to raise them 100% of the time. But if dad is like on the right path and God sees that and sees him fit, then like I appreciate what the circumstances are right now, which according to our situation, it seems it would be so.
So you wanted 100% custody?
Only if their dad is like not doing what he should. Like
Well-
I don't want to be like selfish and rid my children of the experience to not have a dad. Like I grew up with a single mom and I didn't have access to that. Not her fault, but like if they have the opportunity to have a dad who loves and cares for them, and then if I was like say to remarry, then they'd have two dads. Like I want them to be surrounded by as much love as they can.
Are there lawyers involved?
Yeah, I have a lawyer.
Okay. And was he not spending enough time with them before you, or like him and his family, not spending enough time before you went to court? Or was he wanting more time?
There was a lot of, because his life has fluctuated so much and it's just periodic. It's just periodic, the times where like he would be absent and where he would be present.
So, are you at liberty to speak on what precipitated you wanting to make it a legal matter and going to court? Because were you seeking specifically child support, was it? Were you
No.
seeking, so
No.
you were seeking, so what was he, before it went to court, what was the arrangement he was trying to get? 50-50 custody? Informal?
I'm not necessarily going to share details because I don't know what I'm allowed to share. There were definitely reasons why I went. I was very hesitant to take it to court. I prayed about it for a very, very
Negative
long
underscore
time.
200 donated $200. Panel, if your exes formed a club to discuss you, what would they call it? And what would be the club's main activity?
We'll come, okay, we can do that really quick. We'll come back to this though. Go ahead, Pearl. Into the mic.
Man,
Into the mic.
if my exes formed a club to discuss me, what would they call it? I miss Pearl, and the main thing that they would discuss is probably how I changed their life for the better.
Is that true?
Probably, yeah. All my exes have great things to say about me.
Okay, cool.
My ex would love to have me back. he'd probably name his club Best I Ever Had.
Okay, you were probably opting here. Go ahead.
I've been married so long that honestly, I really didn't have a whole lot of boyfriends.
Go
Probably, yeah, they don't have anything bad to say about me either, so it'd probably be like the one that got away.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd say killed with kindness.
I don't know. I've only had one ex.
All right, negative 200, appreciate it. Okay, so you're currently, is there it's not really like in court anymore though, right? Like it's already kind of been, the whole custody arrangement's been determined, is that correct? Or is it
It's
still
in-
like ongoing in court?
No, we're not going to court. We haven't
Actively?
gone. Yeah,
Okay.
no.
I mean, it's still under the purview of the court, but it's not. You're not like currently figuring out the arrangement. The arrangement's been determined.
Right.
Okay. Well, I guess my question was, it sounded like going in. So when you went to the court, were you like, I want full custody?
The first time, yes. The second time, it was more so I wanted things to be evaluated to see what somebody saw fit.
Okay. And the evaluation came back with
Half.
50-50?
The first time, I was like getting the majority, and he had visitation. The second time, it was half.
Oh, so the first time that there was a court order, you got more custody.
Right.
And then was he dissatisfied with this? And then he went to the court and requested more
No.
custody.
When we had our first custody agreement is when we tried to get back together. And then when we tried to get back together, there was a little more unhealth than there had been before.
Okay,
So I just decided to go back.
I see. Okay, interesting. Okay. But you said there is a child support order, but he does not pay it. Is that creating conflict when it comes to the legal proceedings?
No, I actually
Or do you pay him child support?
no, I think everybody around me thinks that I should be receiving money exceedingly more,
Mhm.
but I'm personally fine without. It's a very low amount, so I could live without it, and so
Mhm.
I'm just yeah.
If the court were to award you 100% custody, but he desired to be, you had sole custody, but he desired to still want to see the child, do visitation, and perhaps even have informal custody, like say 50% of the time, but the court technically gave you 100% custody, would you withhold from him his ability to see the child?
No,
Okay. Well, then why did you bring it to court in the first place?
I'm not allowed to speak on that.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. And it sounded like the relationship was, to some degree, a bit amicable. Perhaps there was some conflict, but when you brought it to court, that made things adversarial.
Right.
Okay. Do you regret bringing it to court retrospectively?
No.
Okay, so you think now that all is said and done, it was, despite perhaps the money spent and the stress involved with the process, you think it was for the better of both of you and for the better of the child?
I serve God, not money, so I don't really care about money so long as my kids are okay.
Mhm.
And my children have been given to me by God. So going to court brought me huge comfort because now there are parameters in place that if somebody does something, it will be known. And I'm just freed from a lot of worry because a lot of things were resolved, a lot of things were realized, and a lot of things were put in place to keep the children safe, our children safe. And I can't specify what those things are, but
Okay.
yeah.
But when it comes, I suppose, to the actual custody arrangement, you went in wanting 100%. It sounded like he didn't want, at least from what you told us, it sounded like he did want to be in the kids' lives. He wanted to be involved. The family wanted to be involved.
So
You wanted 100%, but now the current custody arrangement is 50-50 custody. And I know there's some things you can't speak on, but I guess there's a point of confusion on my end where you went to court seeking one thing, hoping to get one thing, but he still has 50-50, there's 50-50 custody. I understand that now that there's structure, you now have a bit more structure to it, but at what cost?
So I just want to make it clear, I did not go in seeking 100% custody. It wasn't like this, I want the kids all to myself type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt at the time that they would have been more protected. And just to be clear, when I had the majority of custody, I was very, even when we had our first custody arrangement and I had majority of custody, when we tried to work things out, we were pregnant with our second son and I was driving for dad to see our child even when he was in a place where he wasn't necessarily like he was eager to see him, but I was just more so trying to like help dad and encourage him to have relationship. So like by no means was it like I want 100% custody and to like withhold our children from their dad. It was more so like I want him in their lives, but I really want to keep them safe. And since family was not helping me to do that most of the time, I needed to have legal help. Does that make sense?
Was there a particular family member that is now barred from seeing the child?
No.
Well, I'm a little confused on this safety component.
I just can't share.
Okay.
But what I can tell you is that at the time that I opened in court the second time, and even the first time, there were huge issues going on that have thankfully since then been dissolved. Like, or for the like right now, they are not an issue.
Okay, that's fine. And just curious, did you say the legal proceedings started while you were pregnant with your second child?
No, just shortly after he was born.
Okay, so there weren't legal proceedings prior to the birth of the second child?
No, I mean,
Okay.
of course, after our first child, but that dissolved within the time that like we tried to work out our relationship, which is
see.
why I had to
Okay.
like reopen.
Sure, okay. Let's see. I'll read a couple chats, then we'll move it on. We have...
Hillary Epstein donated $200. One legal help person to another. What did your parents tell you that you could say on the show? I am sure of it.
Wait, is this directed at her? Excuse me. I'm sorry, Hillary. I'm a little confused by the question. What did your parents tell you that you could say on the show? Do you understand what he's...
My
I
parents?
don't really understand.
Well, I just can't come out here and say because like anybody who goes to court, like you're supposed to kind of keep everything confidential. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hillary. Appreciate it. We have 2 chats here. Maddie, can you read?
Sounds more like you are upset he wants to be involved. Had to fight for 50-50 myself. Stop capping. You left him?
no, like I truly, if he is in good standing, I want him. I would never like want our kids to not have the opportunity to be with both parents, so long as they're both like doing well for them, you know? Like I come from a single family home, didn't know my dad, like actually never met my dad, and then somebody came into my life who also like abandoned me, so I know what it is to feel rejected by another parent, and I would never want our children to even feel like the slightest separation from one parent because I know what it can do. Yeah.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I have Myron Gaines from the Crash and 4 podcast book called Why Women Deserve Less. Is this an immediate red flag?
Just move your mic. No, like
that?
Can you not see or?
No, your computer's blocking.
Oh, okay.
Half of it.
All right. Was that a red flag? What if? Just show of hands. Is it a red flag? The whole bookshelf thing. You go to the guy's house. You see the bookshelf. There's a book that says Why Women Deserve Less. Red flag. Show of hands. Show of hands is yes. All right, there it is. I guess that's a red flag. Okay. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. We have Robert Tanner. Can you read this one?
This is a great panel. My question to each of them, what are the specifics / qualifications of a first date you are looking for? Or if married, explain your idea of one. Also, how important is the first date for you?
Thank you, Robert Tanner. So the question is, what are the specifics, qualifications of a first date you are looking for? So what do you expect on a first date?
I mean, me personally, what do I expect? I mean, what I like at a first date, first date is if a man is asking me to go out, like he's planned where we're going, he takes care of the bill, like he thinks of it as, you know, an honor to have me in his presence, and he's asking me to spend time with him. So I think that. And then while I'm there, I don't know, I like a man who's curious, who's interested, who's asking me questions, who's sharing openly, balanced masculine and feminine energy, shared values, being attracted to them, things like that.
What did you say about honor? Honor your...
Yeah, like he's like, oh, like it's an honor to have this woman in my presence. Like I would like him to think like that, not like she's so lucky to be with me. I feel like that's odd energy.
Well, isn't that precisely what you're expecting?
For him to think I'm so lucky that she agreed to say yes.
Well, I mean, you said that it should be an honor. The guy should view it as an honor that he's in your presence. Is it an honor when you're in their presence? I think. Like for you, oh, it's an honor to be in your presence, guy.
Well, I mean, the guy that I'm seeing now, when I went out with him for the first time, I was like, wow, he's a great guy. Like, I'm lucky to be able to spend time with him. I think ideally both people think that, but if the guy comes in thinking that himself, I feel like that's a little odd.
How do you even get into that as a conversation piece? Like,
It's
can't
not
you
a
just,
conversation. It's just it's just energy.
It's just going out with someone. It's just enjoying each other's company. I guess I don't quite understand the whole they should be happy and lucky that I'm with them type thing. I think that almost puts ourselves too much on a pedestal.
Wait, hold on. So, but going back to what you were saying,
Yeah.
you said this is what the guy should be feeling towards me, but it would be odd if he had the same sort of expectation.
Expectation.
Didn't you say? I heard the words odd. Yo, thank you,
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.01.
Thank you, man. Good to
How
see you
many
in
of
the
the
chat.
panel have perfected the hawk tour technique? How is your spit on it game?
Bro, how you asking
Surveys
that?
show that a good hawk tour can solve many relationship issues.
I disagree, Grid One. A good. No such thing as a good enough BJ to deal with a quarrelsome and nagging wife or girlfriend, but.
True.
Also, like, it's not that any girl can spit. It ain't that hard. Like, that's what the hawk tua is. It's literally just spitting.
You gotta say it how she
The
said
way
it.
he said it was just like hawk tua.
Hawk tua. I don't know.
I'm like, Brian,
you gotta put a little
get it
bit
together,
into
man.
Any chick can do that. Like, I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Grid One, though. Appreciate it. What was his question? It was,
What are the expectations?
I don't think any of the girls are gonna. No, we still need to go around on it. Yo, Duran, thank you for the gifted 10. Thank you, Grid One. Appreciate it. Are you liquored up, Grid One? What's going on? Okay. That was an uncharacteristic. That's a new one from Grid One. So going back to this, you said that it should be an honor for the man to be in your presence, but it would be odd if he wanted you to feel honored to be in
His presence.
Yeah.
I think that there's something about being a woman that men desire to have women around them. That's why clubs want a lot of women, because men like to be in spaces with a lot of women. Do women want to be in spaces with a ton of men? Not really. Like, that's just how it is. Women are a desirable presence for men.
Well, I'm not sure I even agree with the premise here. So if
We disagree on something?
Well, hold on. So
Whoa.
I would argue, though, like, if this was actually the case, then all women nightclubs would be extremely popular. They would exist, but the reality is, like, the most popular, the most prestigious, the most desirable nightclubs, bars, women are going to these environments where there are men.
I don't think that, yeah, of course. Men also, it's not that women don't want to be around any men at all, but I'm just saying, in general, like, if men are like, oh, a ton of girls are going to be there, they're going to be like, ooh, I want to be there. But I don't think it's the same in the opposite direction of like, oh my God, there's going to be so many guys there, like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, it's different energetically.
I think it's kind of the same. Maybe men vocalize it more, but I think women are kind of thinking it in their heads.
That could be a generation thing too, because like when I was in my 20s, I would have definitely gone someplace and there was going to be tons of guys.
Well, I think there's like, I mean, women just refuse to acknowledge that they have any interest in men. Like, or any, women refuse to acknowledge, let me clarify. Women will refuse to acknowledge that they do anything for the purpose of men. For example, when you wear makeup, it's not for men, it's for you, blah, blah, blah. If you wear certain clothing, it's not for men, it's for whatever reason. If you go to a certain event, it's not to meet, if you go out to bars and clubs and all this, it's not for the possibility of meeting men, it's to go have fun with your girlfriends. And while I don't disagree that that can be a component of it, to totally disregard the social component of going to these environments in the hope that you will potentially meet a guy, I think is cope.
Yeah, I never said that.
Right, but you're like, well, the girls, we just want to get together and we don't give a fuck if the guys are there or not.
I think that the point of this podcast is to be controversial, which means that things are going to be, you're going to obviously frame them for profitability as either black or white, when really it's a combination of both. Of course, like, women dress for themselves and for men. That's why we have a conversation about the male gaze and the female gaze. And as women, we're like, okay, I think it's good to be reflective. Like, am I dressing for men exclusively? And how can I do that less and just dress for myself and try to decenter men? But of course, we want and need each other. And of course, women are doing things to attract men. And of course, men are doing things to attract women. But I feel like how we frame it and how we talk about it and what we emphasize really, contributes to our behavior.
So wait, women should decenter men?
I think so, yeah.
Should men decenter women?
I think that men are socialized to want to be powerful, whereas women are socialized to be good. It's very different in how we're socialized. Women are always socialized. Oh, how can I, serve men? How can I put everybody? Women are praised for putting every single person in
I reject
in
your
front.
premise.
Yeah.
I reject the premise. For example, men, when they're growing up, are taught, this is how you treat women. Men are told this. Women are never told when growing up, this is how you treat men. I actually think women are far more self-interested and self-centered. So to say that women are raised to, what did you say? They're good to be good, and men are raised. Not, I don't know if you use the word
Socialized.
raised. Are socialized. Women are socialized to be good. Men are socialized to
Be powerful.
Be powerful. I actually think men are socialized to
Yeah.
be good, and women are socialized to be self-interested.
Well, I guess we disagree.
They're definitely raised to be like ladylike, but not for the purpose of satisfying a man, just being ladylike.
But then I would also ask, if that's the case, because I'll often, and maybe you actually might have even brought this up on the last show, although I forget. If I say something like, well, men are negatively affected in this way, the rebuttal I'll often receive is, well, whose fault is that? It's other men's fault. But then I can actually just use this argument towards women. So can we agree that, I don't know what the exact number is, but there's a lot of single parent households. Agreed? And are these single parent households more often than not single mother households? Okay. And then when it comes to, let's say, kindergarten through 6th grade, we can even do, what's the proportion of female teachers to male teachers?
Probably more women.
More women. So all the influence that these young men have growing up is female influence in the household, where they spend most of their time, and then they're going to spend 8-9 hours a day in school, where the influence is female, not male. Typically, there's very fewer and fewer as the years go. Male
Kill
teachers
of Serial
in this
donated
age demographic.
$200. Show up to a party naked. What other way could you easily attract men? Why even wear clothes that barely cover your private parts if that's how you're dressing for yourself? Where is the distinction?
Wait, show up to a party naked?
going
What
back
other
to
way
the
could-
bikini
the
thing
Back
with
to this, okay. What other way could you easily attract men? Why even wear clothes that barely cover your private parts? That's how you're dressing. Where's the distinction? Show up to a party naked. Thank you, Killif. Sure, I appreciate that. I do think.
Adam and Eve walked around naked.
And didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
what
was
do you
no
guys-
weird.
We'll come back to this, but really quick on the Kill of Serial one. Do you guys think would it be fair game for a guy to break up with his girlfriend if he did not want her to go to a party and she did? Fair game, or is he being too controlling?
He can definitely break up with her whether or not it's the right decision. He's going to later find out. So
Sure. Well, okay. Of course, it's
Is it
his right.
fair, though?
But is he being too controlling?
Yes.
Well, I think we also discussed that we really don't know a lot of the
Right.
story here. So we don't know if he knew
Doesn't
ahead of time
matter.
that. Well, but I
Here's
think,
the, here's
but
the
I think
story.
it does.
Here's the story. I'm dating a girl. She wants to go to a pool party where she's going to wear a bikini and there's going to be alcohol and she's going with her single girlfriends and I don't want her to go.
I think that you guys are just not fit for each other, and you should find somebody who is or isn't willing based off of what you want in a partner.
I don't think that one situation should be enough for them to break up or him to break up with her. I think that would be stupid. If it's just that scenario that you just presented,
That's the scenario.
then I don't think
He's
so.
not too controlling.
Okay. Pearl?
That scenario is indicative of a much bigger issue, which is there's no trust.
I think it is indicative of a much bigger issue, and the bigger issue is she's inclined to go to the party.
Well, it depends. It depends on so much. It could either be he's controlling, or it could be that he's picking up that she's not trustworthy. We don't know enough information, like you were saying. So it could totally be extremely unfair and relax, I'm wearing a bikini, it's fine. Or he could be like, yeah, you're wearing a bikini because you're trying to get the attention of other men, which I've seen as a pattern in your life, and that's fair.
Okay, well, I mean, just by virtue of, as a woman, if you go to these sorts of environments, whether it be a bar, club, house party, pool party, whatever, it doesn't even have to be a conscious thing where I'm like, even if your intention is, I don't have any intention of going to this thing to get male attention, you know by virtue of going to it that you will get male attention, and therein lies the problem.
Oh, so if my boyfriend was going to get mad at me because if I wear a bathing suit, I'm going to get male attention, he has an insecurity issue. And yeah, no, I think that's controlling and bizarre.
Okay, it's not just about the bikini. For example, if you were to go to the beach with him, men have different boundaries and when it comes to this specific thing. But going to a party, I'm assuming in this scenario it's without him present, going to a party with your girlfriends or whatever, basically it's a singles event.
Okay. So what is
That's
his?
it.
I would ask him, what's your issue? Like, what is your issue with the fact that I'm wearing a bikini?
It's not so much the bikini, it's the going to the party wearing the bikini.
And
If you're wearing a bikini
and
at
I would
home,
say,
you probably wouldn't
okay.
give a shit.
Okay, why is that? Why does that bother you? That's what
Because
I would
men and women flirt differently.
ask. Okay, and I would say, I'm not there to flirt with anyone. I'm there to enjoy myself.
Okay,
That's what I
but
would say.
let me ask you a question. So, do you ever approach guys?
no.
The guy you're currently dating, did he approach you or did you approach him?
I guess we just started talking to each other because we were near one another. I guess.
You guys work together?
Yeah. I mean, no, we don't work together, but we met at his place of work. I was doing a gig there, and he was like in charge of setting up the gig.
Can I
Yeah,
ask?
hold on. So who asked for whose number?
He asked for mine.
Who set up the date?
He did.
I'm assuming I won't get into too much detail. Did he go for the first kiss?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, he hit on you,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a differential here in the way that men and women flirt. Like women won't slide into a dude's DMs. They will sometimes.
Yeah, for the most part.
But they'll post like a revealing photo in an effort to get, to solicit men to then contact them.
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.01.
Thank you, man.
It is always interesting when women try to make the case for dressing like a whore. If you dress for the job you want, and you dress like a whore, then you are proclaiming yourself a whore. Do better.
A, she was a whore. B, she was a whore.
Thank you, Grid One.
spelled it like I said it. Whore.
So what were you saying? Thank you, Grid One.
You were saying that women post pictures for male attention. or
Yeah,
something?
so like you'll go to a bar, you won't like actively approach a guy, but you'll go to the bar with the understanding that there's a good chance that men will approach you.
Yeah, I think that some women for sure wear clothing to elicit male attention. I don't think that that's something that doesn't happen.
But so here's the thing though, in a relationship, there's an expectation that as a guy, well, it would be cheating for me to go and approach a girl and try to flirt with her while I'm in a relationship, correct? But we have nothing in place in society that frowns upon or shames women by the way women run game. We don't stop women from running the type of game that y'all run, which is indirect. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because like you guys will be, you'll put yourselves out there to give space for men to come and talk to you. But it's frowned upon for men to put down boundaries and be controlling and say, you need to cut off your options the same way I'm not going out there and approaching girls and giving them or asking for their number and doing all this. Simply you, I'm trying to think of like a good scenario here.
I had a pretty good example, I think. How like female birds, they will do mating calls and they will puff their feathers and everything, and the male has to come to the female bird. That's kind of what us women do by going out and dressing, certain ways, getting all dolled up, and then the men will approach us because we're kind of putting off that energy, like we're trying to get that attention.
That's a
Yeah.
good example. That's a really good example.
It's a good example.
That
But
was
like,
perfect.
but there's nothing like, I mean, at least look, there are traditional relationships where there's an expectation where if you're in this relationship as a woman, you're not going to put yourself out there. But it's certainly much more common. Like it's almost clear cut. Hey, the guy has to stop like approaching girls while in a relationship. But the means with which women will solicit male attention don't cease once they're in a relationship. Posting provocative photos on Instagram, going to these, in my view, are very specific social settings which enable either casual sexual encounters or a means by which people can meet romantic partners, right? And I mean, you can say, well, the club, the bar, it's just for fun. But like, you don't go to Trader Joe's and you don't see people getting finger blasted randomly after 10 minutes of meeting somebody at Trader Joe's. I see that shit all the time. At least when I was in college, I said, bro, people be fucking in the middle of the parties. And it wasn't like, college was crazy, let me just tell you. Okay.
Can I add something?
I never seen somebody get finger blasted at Whole Foods. You walk into a college party, finger blasted.
My Whole Foods is lit.
Okay. So
Speak for yourself.
So I have a question. So
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.01. That is a horrible example. In nature, the males are the ones that are brightly colored and show off. The females are plain and drab. Get an education for fuck's sake.
Somebody said I'm going to the wrong Whole Foods. Okay.
bird thing. Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
So okay.
Thank you, Grid One.
So say whatever, I wear a skin tight bodycon dress that's short and has a V cut. And
The fuck is that? I'm sorry, I'm a dude.
a V cut?
Who the fuck is that guy?
It's literally a V.
The contour? I don't know what that is.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
A tight dress that
Tight dress.
that shows off your curves.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
So if I want to wear that, I'm in a relationship and I'm just like, oh, it just makes me feel good, and I wear it to Whole Foods. Is that okay? Because, like you said, it's not an environment where people are getting, getting sexual attention. It's just, what if I just want to wear that dress? Is that fine then?
Well, I mean, So I'm not familiar exactly with what that outfit would look like. If you go to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and you happen to be approached, I don't think, I'm not suggesting like, hey, as a guy, your girl can't go grocery shopping. What I am saying is when it comes to parties, bars, nightclubs, whatever, these are very, very specific social settings.
So you would agree that wearing an outfit that is like maybe tight or whatever, but I'm not doing it to get male attention because I'm not going to these specific places that are for like romantic and sexual and casual connections. I'm going to go get carne asada and chips. Like, is that okay? Is that okay?
I mean, every man has different standards on this. I do generally prefer women who dress a bit more modestly.
Yeah, so we're not talking about preferences. We're just talking about like the sort of generic understanding of like, is it the actual dress or is it the intent behind the dress?
Well, I think we're getting away a little bit here because the segment wasn't specifically, exclusively just about the bikini. It was wearing the bikini to this party, right?
So you're not going to answer my question?
You're saying if
Is it
there's an
okay to
issue-
wear that dress to like a place like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's?
I don't know specifically what it looks like, but
A dress that would make you mad or someone mad that they're wearing it to a club because it seems like they're doing it to elicit male attention.
I would say a lot of men prefer their girlfriends to dress modestly.
Okay, so it's not okay to wear it to Whole Foods.
What do you mean?
That's exactly what I mean. Would it be okay if I'm wearing it in an environment that's not to attract men?
Again, I don't know what the specific outfit that you're referring to looks
Okay,
like.
so
I
imagine
would
an
have to see
outfit
it.
that you'd be upset about or that someone might be, you would say, that's
Sure.
okay
How
to be
about
upset
this?
about
Let's use like a more obvious example. She's wearing like short jeans that with her ass sticking out and like a crop top. I, to some degree, would find this a little objectionable, at least from a girlfriend.
it. Okay, yeah, but that would be appropriate if you're like trying to get male attention or something.
Well, I prefer modest dress in general. Okay.
That's what she wanted
Oh,
to
no,
add.
that's what she wanted to say.
But if,
She's like,
if I was if I was dating a girl, I would hope in general that she did dress a bit more modestly. I'm not saying it's got to be a turtleneck and sweatpants all the time. And men have varying degrees of what they think would be appropriate or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, like ass out short shorts, I would probably feel a little like I'd feel a type of way about it.
So we need to change. When you get into a relationship and you're committed to someone or eventually get married, what you do should change. Okay? You can't just continue to do everything the same. So it comes down to if your boyfriend or even your husband at that time didn't want you to go to a party in a bikini, really isn't that important?
Killer of Cereal
for her
donated
to?
$200.
Yeah, thank you, Killer.
Women who say it's just skin are too open to hurting the one they are with by being too open with their bodies. Sex is sacred, to be shared by two people behind closed doors. Stick around for part 2.
Oh, he's gonna, I suppose, send another one.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Kill of Cereal. Appreciate it, man. I'm just kind of waiting to see if it's gonna come through. And look, I think a lot of guys, when it comes to, look, there's the whole dressing thing. That's one component. I'm actually, I would say, a little more flexible, specifically when it comes to your dress. And I do think there's a geographic component to it. Like if you live in a really warm climate, like I think it's going to be a bit more socially acceptable to show a bit more skin for like temperature reasons. Like that's fair, right? Summertime, you don't expect a girl to be wearing a fucking turtleneck in midsummer in Florida or something.
So I have a question after this.
Grip One Motorsports donated $200.01. These girls are used to dating loser coomers, not real men with values, morals, and standards. They would rather dress like a whore than to be honorable and worthy of being in a man's life.
A, she was a hoe. B, she was a hoe.
Dating loser coomers.
Is he
I think you're a good
referencing
one.
us?
Show of hands, who's dating a loser coomer?
What is that?
Show of hands.
Killer of
Thank you,
Cereal
Grid One.
donated $200. If you show up to a party with your man and dress scantily clad, what message do you think you're sending to him? Advertising yourself to all others. Why would he want to be with you?
Yeah, that's disrespectful and embarrassing for your man for you to be out here acting single when you have a man at home. And also, it depends, like, who's going to be there at the party? Is it a bunch of single people? Because if you surround yourself with a bunch of single people, not that it's bad to have single friends, but you start to act single. Like, you are who you hang out with. Like, as soon as I got married, I wanted to have friends and women that were married, not only married, but Christian married women who have values. Like, you have to surround yourself with people who have those same values. Like, I'm not going to go out to a club and be giving all of this attention to all of these men when my man's at home. Like, that's disrespectful. And if it was like, hey, I don't want you to go to this party regardless of who's there, end of story.
Honor
I'm not,
your man.
I'm not going. It doesn't matter what the reason is. I'm not going. I
gotta
won't-
pick your battles.
I'm not going to question him.
You had something, Pearl. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, with the bikini thing, for me, like, I really struggled with body image for a really long time, and I would wear big T-shirts over my bathing suit. I like had a really not good relationship with food. It was a huge struggle in my life that took a long, long time. So for me, when I wear a bikini to the beach or like to the whatever I might be when I'm in water or not, like I'm really truly not thinking, how can I get men's attention? It's for me, like it feels good. I'm like, wow, I'm confident enough and comfortable enough in my skin to wear this bikini. You know, but I will say though.
Oh shit.
Back_to_ the underscore roots donated $1,000. Pop champagne.
Yo, thank you, bro.
Great show, Brian.
Yo, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Dude, you're hold on, let me,
He's a brave and a decent man. He's a pioneer.
He's a pioneer. If you guys want to check out his YouTube channel, by the way, Back to the Roots, appreciate it.
Actually,
Thank you. We got champagne.
Do we all drink?
Is everybody's over 21, except for Madison here. Sorry, Maddie.
Double baby.
I don't want it.
I think you were going ahead with your point. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I was just saying that, like, for me, wearing a bikini is like an act of self-love and self-confidence. And at the same time, yeah, if I was going, which I just wouldn't go to, but if I was going to some party with a bunch of like single guys looking to connect with girls, like I probably would dress a little bit differently if I was with a man. Like I probably would. I wouldn't wear like my sexiest bikini. I'd probably be a little bit more modest. I probably would. But I think it would be ineffective for my man to say, don't go to that party. So.
Can we get cups? I got the champagne bottle, but no
As
cups.
he opens.
Now, you know, there's not to say the times that your man don't
You
want
grab
you to
it,
dress
Maddie?
a certain type of way too when you go out.
next
So,
guy.
but at that point,
right,
you're
'cause I'm
with
dressing
him.
for him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fair for a man to say like,
gonna say, if you're with him.
don't dress for the same things and in the same way. When you're with me, you have my attention. Why do you need the attention of other people? I
And
think
it's not
that's
even to say
fair.
that if he leaves to go to the restroom, that a man may not even come approach and even see that you were with another man.
Yeah,
dressed
no,
like
that happens all the time. But I think that if a man is insecure, he will try to be controlling and say, don't wear this, don't wear this, don't wear this. Like, it's a balance. It's a balance. It's a give and take.
And I get what you're saying, but also I think if you ask like a bunch of men what they thought when they saw a woman in a bikini, like what their thoughts on it, I think they would all agree that they think that they're doing it for other people other than themselves.
Well, that's them. Why am I living for the opinions and thoughts of a bunch of men? Like, I'm gonna live for my own opinion and my own self-confidence and my own self-worth, and of course, take into consideration the person that I'm dating.
But doesn't that go against what you just said earlier?
What does?
About how you were saying that when you're raised to be good, and then Brian said, well, doesn't it seem more like women are raised to think about themselves? And then you just said that you're living for yourself, so you're not thinking about other people's opinion.
For me, I was not raised to put myself in the center. I was raised to put everybody else, my dad's opinion, everybody's opinion above my own. And for me, growth is learning how to actually think, oh, you know, what do I want to wear in this moment? You know, how can I live in such a way that actually honors my own opinion and that I'm actually thinking about myself for the first time?
Really quick, just show of hands, who wants
Like-
champagne?
I do.
We all have free will. As a woman, even if you're married, you have free will of what you're going to wear. At the end of the day, like, my man shouldn't even be in a position to have to tell me don't wear that, because I have the free will to not wear that, because I have the free will to honor him, if that makes any sense. So at the end of the day, it's okay to be confident. Like, listen, I'm a personal trainer. I want my body to look good, clearly, but it's not for the attention of other people, and I shouldn't make it known that it's for the attention of other people. And I think especially when you're married, like, and I think now that I'm married, I do understand, like, your body has to be, it's for your man. And so you have to honor that, and you have to be respectful of that at the end of the day.
So if your
That was
man was
beautiful,
like,
Jordan.
if your man was like, don't wear leggings, I want you to only wear sweatpants because it makes me feel uncomfortable, would you be like, sure, no question?
I mean, no, I think we'd have to have like a conversation about that, why he feels that way.
He'd be like, I don't like how men are always looking at your fat, juicy ass.
Well, I'd be
Well,
like,
they're going to look at it no matter
well,
what.
I mean, they're going
Even
to
in
look at
sweats,
it.
they're going to look at it.
And he's like, yeah, but it's more prominent and it looks like you're dressing more for male
Quick
attention.
interruption here. Salut. Salut. Cheers to